Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in yet again. We are continuing our series on credit, what you can do to improve your credits and just understanding your credit in general. We'll pull back up that diagram that I introduced last week and what are the components of your credit score. Now, last week we did talk about the amounts owed, and that was basically the summation of that is to keep your balances at 10% of the credit limit. That's key to optimizing your score. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time on payment history, which makes up 35% of your score, because I think that's pretty intuitive. You got to make your payments on time. The only thing that I will say in speaking to that is that making a late payment on a revolving debt versus a mortgage is going to be treated differently. It is much more egregious to make a late payment on a mortgage payment versus revolving debt. But key is you just want to make all your payments on time. Now, we're going to talk about trying to build up and establish your credit if you're having a bit of difficulty there. 10% of your score is made up of credit mix. So you don't want to have just all installment debts. I've talked to several people over the years. I don't like to use credit, but if you're in the market to buy a home, you've got to start using credit at least for a little while. I'm not saying that after you close on your home, you need to continue using credit debt, but you need to be using it in the build up to the process. So you want to have at least 3 open revolving debts. And then you see that mix of installment debts with any student loans that you might have or an auto loan. The mix of that credit does help you out. Now, if you're trying to get your score up, one of the tricks that you might want to include in your credit is to be an authorized user on someone's account. Maybe that's a family member. But the key here is the account that you're going to be added to. You want the account to carry a low balance. It needs to be an account that's been open for as long as possible, because age of credit is also part of that score, 15%. So the longer an account has been open, the more advantageous it is to you. So important to get on that account if you can, that has a low balance and that has been around for a while for that person. Once that reports against you, then I would tell you you need to start applying for your own credit, because at that point you're going to get the benefit of the attributes of that account attributed to your score. So it's going to make it easier for you to apply for credit. I don't want you to stay on that authorized user account indefinitely. Maybe ride that for 6 months, but get your own credit going. And after you close on this transaction, if you don't like to use credit, you don't need to continue using that credit, but don't close it out. You don't want to close out any credit if you have it open, because the age of credit does impact your score. That is 15%. So the longer you keep an account open, the better it helps, the more it helps in your scoring. So just keep those accounts open, use them periodically. You don't have to use them every month, maybe once every 6 months, just to keep the account active. So that is going to contribute to that score. So that's what we got for you now. I will also talk to you. I want to bring up, last week we talked about paying off collections, that if they're medical, you absolutely don't want to pay them off. When you do pay off collections, it makes it look like a new account. So the key is, if you don't have to pay off collections, don't. But if you are required in some situations, you will have to. Depends on how much collection debt you have. But make sure if you're paying off that debt, you get a letter of agreement from that creditor that states that they will remove that collection from your credit report. Super important. We don't want that debt hanging out there. So you need to kind of put their feet to the fire and make them commit to that. So get that in writing, that the debt has been paid and that they will get it removed from your credit. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Add any questions or comments below. Please like and share my videos. I do appreciate that. And always tune in on Fridays when I do my weekly update on what's been in the news and how it affects interest rates. And we'll continue this series on credit next Wednesday. Have a great day.